May our hotel. Peace and blessings. So yeah, how y'all doing today? Good, I hope. Everybody cool? Chilling and stuff? I got this book. I've been reading this because it helped me more than I would like to say it does not help me. I know it does help me. Here's the deal. This is like a book of ancient Egyptian proverbs. And it tells you stuff that the more you read these, the more they become a part of your everyday characteristics or your actualization. What you do and how you control your temptations be based on how much knowledge you have inside of you that instructing you to be as godlike as possible. Alright, here's what's funny about that. You're given a set of instructions to be godlike at all times, but at the same time, you're thrown into a world with devilish activities around you constantly, right? So, you know, that'll make you say, somebody is trying to set me up, because they are. If you are a person that has a criminal record, and you're instructed not to let this type of activity come past your path again, and then one of your friends call you knowing you just got out of jail for a certain type of action, and the first thing they suggest to you, let's go do the same thing you just got released from prison for doing. That right there should alarm you. Say, I need to stay away from this. This person is gonna make me end up back in prison. That's what experiences is all about, so you can learn from them. Remember I said that. Experiences are so you can learn from them. So let's say, for instance, if in World War I, it was 1911, and then if in World War II, it was 1941, that means for 30 years, as far as warring goes, you didn't learn shit. Because you end up doing the same thing over, which is called psychotic behavior. Because we all know what happens in war. People die, and that didn't solve the problem. People just died. The problem should have been able to be solved without people having to die. Because see, there's no problem greater than the problem of you commit murder to somebody. That's a serious problem. I mean, if your intellect don't make you be able to fathom that, because you got this sturdy rhetoric that make you believe that so for some reason it's okay for you to kill these people because they ain't shit, you know? So we can just do that because that's what we can do. The problem with that is that it's not an abiding principle. Which brings me to tell you that I'm here to tell you that you've done that shit enough and it's time to stop. Since I've been here, I did nothing but showed you proof. I've been showing you episode after episode after episode of this being a planet of barbarism. And the perpetuators of the barbarism is the people who masquerade their family around as being the enlightened people that's going to lead the world to develop a God characteristic. But that's not true. We all know that. So now that's why I'm telling you that you need to have a book that gives you true proverbs about how to conduct yourself. Because we live in a world where everybody's got the Holy Bible. I got one somewhere around here. I ain't gonna waste too much time looking for it because you can see how important it was to me because I know what his is. I don't give a rat ass what a Bible is. I'm gonna tell you the truth. But anyway, the reason I'm here saying all this is because I want to explain a lot of the reasons why I say some of the things I say. Because this book motivates me. It made me say shit and I don't even know I've even said it until I see it later. That's what spirit does. Contrary to the fact that I use a lot of profanity, most of the stuff you hear come out of me is spirit talking to you. Okay, now listen. I said that I would never want to try to build anything as far as a nation goes with Christians. But I would do that with Muslims, Nation of Islam, Minister Farrakhan, all that stuff I said. I want to explain to you why. I see all the stuff that people talk about shystiness and this and that. I even said some shit myself that I feel I shouldn't have said. I really do, because I don't care about trying to attack a leader with bullshit that's rhetoric. And I know how we got stuff out there that'll bring decision into something that's trying to grow. That's the best thing to do, especially if the growth of something is going to stagnate the progress of you. You done build a lot of freaking mountains off of stepping on people that you cause dissension between. So quite naturally, you do everything you can to disrupt anything that's bringing the dissension out. That's what I see going on. So now when I say Christianity compared to the Nation of Islam or Muslimism, if I had to choose one, I would choose to be a Muslim, is because I already chose to be a Muslim and a Christian in this lifetime. And my experiences from both let me know that if given the right approach and my circumstances on this earth with my found knowledge of self, if I had to merge that with one of those sectors, I'd fit right in with Islam, not Christianity at all. There would be no type of mergence possible with Christianity, because I would have to eradicate my thought of me being God. Everything that makes me be the outgoing, energetic, responsible, confident person that I am, I would have to take it out of myself and put it into the image of some ghost white man. That would be the rules if I wanted to be in West Angeles Church. I know that for a fact because I was in West Angeles Church. And I did subscribe to that religion. But it was incomplete. And I was too wise to overlook the reason why it was incomplete. I was able to sit there and sit in that church and see what was going on. It made me cry. I cried constantly while I sat in that church because the universe was showing me what had happened to us. And when I say us, I mean all the people on the planet. The problem is you white people, a lot of you Caucasians, don't want to accept your originality as being melanated. We all know, we done been through that. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on that. And this concept of thought of self is ignorance. It leaves you in a condition of not being knowledgeable about your totality of self. And that's going to always be damaging to any people. That brings me to the melanated people. If you subscribe to the rhetoric of them being God, and then, I mean, you have to subscribe to you being non-God, which means you have to remove your godly concept of self away and give it to the white people. And then you'll always be begging them for a job because they're selfish and they're rude and they will do everything that we've already seen it. If you are guilty of hanging people, cutting off their phalluses and enslaving them, if I come and say you will stagnate my progress and do everything you can to stop me from having a job and paying for my upkeep on this earth, you should say, well, yeah, because we enslaved you for 500 years. Yeah, we're capable of doing that. And we all know we're doing it right now. Okay. There's nothing godly about that at all. And then I traced your motive and what would objectify you to have these type of peculiar actions. And I found it to be the King James Bible. And I also traced back throughout other books and found out where the King James Bible came from. And when I found out where the King James Bible come from, along with discovering that information, I discovered more atrocious acts against humanity. And guess by who again? You got it. The damn pilgrims again. You damn right it was. Pilgrims, pilgrims, pilgrims all the damn time. All over the freaking planet. So now everybody walking around with a pilgrim God. The same God that you came to the Americas with, claiming you had to leave England because you was persecuted and was not having the privilege to worship this same God that you came over here and deprivileged everyone of their own self-knowing knowledge of being God. And God has stole that knowledge away and implemented a new concept of God being yourselves. And you have tortured and beat and eradicated, murdered, destroyed, and will continue to do this forever. Now the universe has sent me here to tell you that you need to all accept this information as a courtesy info, special delivery for the inhabitants of the earth. Now, your governments around this planet all are in a big knot like this with each other, pimping the shit out of everybody on this planet. They all use trickery. I showed you all of the sublime suggestions. All that bullshit is what they use, especially religion and deprivation. When you deprive a person of a way to sustain themselves, and then you become the method of sustainment, your method of sustaining them could be implemented under your policy and your conditions. Like for instance, when that cracker OP come to my house and tell me he think I took something, next thing you know, here's the fire department, police, everybody, just come and confiscate my shit. And then I just showed you how they use that bulldozer to push all those dead bodies into the ground whose spiritual life force have been confiscated by them also. So these same dirty, ungodly white men that gave you that Holy Bible, it's the same men that's setting up all of the justice centers, all of the political centers, as well as all of the religious centers, the school centers, the recreation centers. You see, they just passed a rule that you could have same-sex marriage. See, here's the deal with that. If you want to be a homosexual and have that type of love affair, why do you need somebody else's permission? If you needed everybody else's permission, you wouldn't do it. Because you're not going to sit around people. See, imagine two men come to my house that's homosexual. It probably wouldn't happen because I don't need them to be in my house if I'm not homosexual. Do that make sense? So if for some reason they do come to my house and I'm sitting there with a few other people sitting around in my crib, do you think I want them sitting around? They come to my crib because I know them. Imagine this. And then they come in and I got two people sitting there in my house visiting me that's there already. And they don't know these people. Do you think I want them making it perfectly honest to the people that's here in my house with me that they are having this unnatural love affair with each other? Do you want to see them holding hands and kissing each other and all that? You don't really need to see that between a man and a woman. And properly self-respected people, man and woman, completely acceptable. But if you got to acknowledge yourself, you won't let nobody see you doing that. There's a place for that. This world that we live in now perpetuates that, and they perpetuate it where it's okay to be open with that. But they perpetuate it in a way where they can commercialize it. That's where the whole difference comes in. Sex is a beautiful thing as long as it's natural and uninhibited by special reasons and conditions of it to occur. But when you commercialize it and sell it, like pornography and all that, you just cross the line. Now this is what they're doing. They're trying to commercialize homosexuality. I was looking at TV the other day and real quick they flashed it on me. It was a hotel commercial. Two men waving, leaning out the door in the hotel room. Both of their hands peeking around the door, waving out. Two men, a black one and a white one. Just like I showed you that dumbass commercial where the Chinese guy head come up from down here and pop out of this sweater right here. So now he go his head right here with the black guy head right here. See, like he's sitting on his lap. Think about it. You see, that's what it calls. It calls chaotic interruptions when you see that shit. Because what it does is disturb the balance of life. That's just what happened there. Because it gets everything agitated when you see that. It does that to me. And the reason why is because I know what that's designed to do. It's designed to create, just what I said, dissension. Okay? Because you got to imagine that we're not going to be able to continue as a planet